All right, welcome back to the big board. Got a couple of games in the house from Poland. Strategemata, is that correct? Strategemata, yes, that's what we're going to call it. A couple of games in. This is the box that would come in, generally speaking. I've got this here to cover up my address because apparently, internet does things. And, box is pretty sturdy, well done. It's just a little cardboard doohickey, so no bubble wrapping. And I think when we're looking at, to me, new companies anyway, I like to kind of go over the whole shoot and match in terms of how things are presented and the sort of condition stuff arrives in, given things that come from Europe or across the country or whatever. So so these guys reached out to me, and so these are complimentary that were sent to me. I did pay for shipping, just because I like to pay something just to keep it all on the up and up. Now. Great Battles of the Small Units, or of Small Units. There are many titles in this series, and I kind of like the artwork on this guy. It's kind of evocative of the whole Crete thing, so it's kind of groovy. I'm going to put this to one side for a second, and then we have another game, 14 Days in June. Now, I have not had a look inside this one yet, and I may pause the video and have a quick skim read. We'll see. But I did take time to read the rules. There are only, well, you'll see, 8 pages of rules, and we'll talk about it. I apologize for the glare, but let's have a look at what's inside the box. Now, as you can see, this is it's kind of like a standard cardboard foldy box thing. No problem. Let's just dump everything out and let's get after it, right? So. Rules, full color. The English is actually pretty good. There's a couple of little sentences here and there that I would probably not have worded them that way, but they are what they are. Straightforward game system. This is Great Battles of Small Units. I guess it's trying to maybe play off of Great Battles of History in terms of its title. And by the way, the box did come. It got a little crushed here because there's no bubble wrap and stuff, but not a huge deal. I'd have to double check price points on these guys. I want to say somewhere between 40 and 60 euros. I think I would have to check, and I may be wildly wrong and misrepresenting the price point. So, you're getting, this is clearly, or feels to me, at least, like it might be a print-on-demand solution, or if it's being batch produced, it's potentially being run in fairly small batches, and we'll see why in a sec. So, you've attack and defense power, range, morale. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me zoom in and get a little closer there. You've got your artillery, similar concept there, and then these HQs. Now, the whole focus of the game, and this may lose some people, or others may just go, "Oh, that's groovy." Need a deck of cards, 52 regular playing cards to play. There are no dice involved in this game. And you use the deck of cards to execute on initiative, to execute combat. And there are also markings on the map with house suite, whether it's clubs or diamonds or whatever, on the map as well. I've been like I said, I read the combat rules, read the movement rules. I didn't see why there are markers on the map, things on the map, but we'll get to it potentially in this video. Who knows? All right, so you've got to conduct activation, but first, before you do that one thing here that is missing would be a nice, what I would call a comprehensive step-by-step sequence of play, particularly if it's a new system and you're trying to keep it simple. It would be good to kind of have things in a detailed sequence of play here for the new wargamer, and also for the experienced wargamer who wants to just kind of get after it and just maybe have a reference sheet or something like that. But you execute on initiative. The different HQs and sides have suits that are allocated to them, and then we have your activation, and an activation will activate all the units in that particular formation. There's a mechanism to allow other formations to be activated, and there's going to be modifiers based on how many air points you have and fun stuff like that. There's movement is very straightforward. You look at the tech chart, which we'll have a look at in a sec, and off you go. Right. Fire is an interesting concept, and here's one of the things where I think the wording could have been done a little better. But you have your fire rating. So we saw a 3 unit had a 3, and then you're going to take a card and flip it over and add that to the total, and then compare it against the defender, and he's going to have 1 card as well, and he will see which one's greater, and whoever has the greater wins the battle, the fire combat, or survives the fire combat, as the case may be. And then if it's more than doubled in the delta between the two numbers, then you're going to take casualties. Otherwise, you're just going to be disorganized. But here's some wording here. It says the player adds to doubled firepower value all of the following, and then you go through these things here. So I don't know if that necessarily specifically means that we take the firepower and just double it every time when we're doing a fire combat. So maybe that's just a standard rule. Be interesting to see why you wouldn't have a 3 for the assault value and then a 6 for the fire value, if that's the way it's going to be working, doubled. There's assaulting in this game as well, and you assault, there's a number of cards that are going to be flipped, and once again you're going to do a comparison between the delta between the 2 sets of cards that are drawn for all of the units that are involved in the combat, and there are modifiers and extra cards that come as a function of the number of units attacking and the number of hexes they're coming from and fun stuff like that. HQ support in air and artillery and things like that. So super straightforward. I did notice in one of the examples of play here, your reaction to enemy movement is interesting. You can basically, it's similar to GTS in that you can fire at every hex that you get an opportunity fire, basically at every hex that the enemy moves in, based on how I read the example. How to reorg. When you do activate a unit, you can either move, you can either fire, you can rally, or you can execute on improving your positions. Some special rules, some support weapons. Ammo is a function which is going to come out. There are going to be events that are going to occur based on the suits and the cards you draw. So if you draw a king, something might happen. Draw a queen, something might happen. Jack, something might happen. You lose ammo, get a quick rally. You can see sort of the list of doohickeys here that potentially impact what goes on. A detailed example of a close combat here, which I just pretty much read to you, but the Germans have two units in a combat. Here's the combat here, right? 2 units in the combat, so they flip 2 cards for each one, and then there are additional things that happen for the attacker. They got a special suite. What do you call those guys? Well, I guess that's a joker, but they have a name, and I can't remember it. I'm going to let it go. And you tally up, and that's going to have your impact on the results. And there's that, resolving fire. Now, so there's a resolving fire example here, this defensive fire action. So opportunity fire, defensive fire, same concept. Nice little chart. Now these are, these aren't too shabby. No complaints whatsoever about these, but clear by level, and then uphills and downhills. Your standard movement costs, nothing you're going to see here is going to cause you to freak out. For motorized and non-motorized, then you have, is there cover? Is there a stacking limit? Will a block line of sight? And can you put an improved position in there, I assume? And there's a few little notes at the bottom. Special rules per module. These are the special rules for the Crete solution, the Crete game. We're not going to go through all the details on this. There you go, that's all that. Now, here are these maps, and these maps look like they're, some of them may join, I don't know. I've only opened up one so far. This is map 3. Let me just get a close-up here. So you can see every hex has, these suits on them. And pretty basic computer graphic artwork, nothing to write home about. Kind of got a ASL vibe with the buildings, and then you've got your different road types and stuff, right? Open up this guy here. And I probably can't see that. I don't think I can get up. Can I get up higher here? I don't think I can. Nope. Bring this a little bit closer. And another map, map 2. Now I don't know which maps go with which scenarios just yet. I've got the scenarios in here. I'm going to show you all those. So a lot of maps here. We got four maps so far. This guy's upside down. So yeah, 4 maps, and then you've got a functional turn track here. Let me take all this out of here for each day, and I guess these are going to be the support features that are available for both sides. I wonder why they use Cree Force instead of like allies or whatever, but whatever. And then reinforcements, scenario cards, board 1, 2, 3, and 4. Maybe the Cree Force is actually what it was called. Who knows? Anyway, so how to set these boys up. And then nice historical information on the back of what occurred during this particular scenario for Malame Airfield. And then there's the Prison Valley, the Rethmanyo Airfield, the background on that guy, and Hercologne as well. And then, you know, the Germans set up charts, and there's stuff on the back as well. So what do we got here? Prison Valley, according to the plan, and then taking the risk. So alternative scenarios. Maybe there's some explanation somewhere that I have not seen yet. And now, and here's kind of where things get made at my house, right? Looking like we've got a somewhat, unfortunately, lower quality standard counters. They're very thin, and it looks like they're going to easy punch, and it looks like they won't tear. So that's a good thing. But they are very thin, and I'm not expecting them all to be like flying pigs or even GMT or whatever, sort of the uber quality. And these are functional; they'll work. I imagine moving those around will be okay. I don't think it's going to cause me a drama fit to play with them that way. So that's Crete, right? So I thought we'd keep going. Let me just fold these over. Now, unfortunately, I'm leaving town tomorrow, so I'm not going to get a chance to play these at least until next week. And I'm chock-a-block full on my table, so I have to get a folding table out to set this up to give it a shot, or any of these up to give it a shot. I've got 3 games out at the moment. So 14 days in June, Steve Pohl. I've heard of Steve before, and I think I may have even played one of his games, but I don't want to say that because I don't want to be wrong, pretty much. So we've got, okay, that's right. I remember seeing this photographs. We've got some leaders here, and then these little stands, which are going to help us keep things hidden, I believe. And I guess these are going to hold cards, maybe. I don't know. Hopefully this is not another card playing game. Okay, well, here you go. Here's like a little catalog that came with this. Is nicest quality paper stock I've seen. Very nice. Okay, all right. We'll have a look at the map in a sec. 14 days in June. 2-player Beer and Petzls game of the Waterloo campaign, 1815. 1 player controls the French forces, yada, yada, yada. All right. Force composition, looks like we're going to do rotating of units to make them lose steps and things. And leaders and commanders, a quasi-historical setup. Does it say, it says 14 days, so this will probably start down south of Charleroi and go from there. We'll see what it does. Orders, sequence of play, attrition and supply, movement and combat, and commander movement. Winning the game. Looks like we're just killing things to win based on what I'm seeing here. I'm going to keep going here. Have not read rules, so we're having a look and seeing what we think. Looks like we're going to have to issue orders, and we are going to move stuff around and go bang bang against each other, and we'll work it out from there. Designer notes. The answer is that 14 days is a little different from most of its predecessors. Oh, why then design another game on the topic? Okay. Larger scope of the game, it's operational. Okay. 2 weeks of actual time. All right. I mean, I'm down. All right, cool little art. What is this? Oh, terrain effects chart for the Frenchies. One for the Brits. Are they the same? Appears they are. 354354476 Yep, same. So just I don't know why we have one each, but that's fine. Little order sheets. I guess you can copy those at your leisure. Some stickers. 14 days extended example of play. Really nice. Okay, I like this. This is great. We'll be able to have a look at this and probably get straight after it. I like games that try and do something a little different. And if they can, dang, it's just sad. It just makes me sad that these are so feeble. I don't know. I'm going to pause the camera and I'm going to look up what the price point on these is to try and make some sort of determination on value for money in terms of quality of components. But let's have a look at the map first, because this looks interesting. It's quite large. Let me open it without tearing it. That would be nice. Come on, man. Here we go. And of course, do I have it the right way? We're going south to north, north to south. Where are we? Way. All right. I'm looking for something I recognize. Okay, so we're at quite the scale here. I wonder what the ground scale is on this thing. So this I'm confused. Southern Netherlands, Charleroi, Quatre Bras. Oh, you can't see. Duh. All right. Quatre Bras, Charleroi, Nivelles. I guess the red ones are probably VP locations. The map is clean and actually efficient. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just struggling with location. So it's not actually the full. Where's the Charleroi River? There's the Meuse. Sambre. Huh, okay. I was thinking it would have been from, maybe it goes this way. Maybe we go this way. Well, we'll work it out. I'll have a look at this in more detail when we get to it. I'm gonna little March attrition tables here, order marker tables, historical setups, and here we go. There's that. All right, I'm gonna pause the camera for a second and let's talk price points. Okay, so I was wrong in terms of price. The Creek game is $60 US, and this particular title is $55. US dollars. So, I think that's in the ballpark of being pretty reasonable, reasonably priced for what the quality level you're receiving. My only bitch would be that these counters just make me feel sad a little bit, right? But these little leader doohickeys, they're actually more sturdy and thick, and they don't go on here. But where are those little things? Hold them up. Where'd they go? Must be in the box somewhere. All right. Anyway, I feel like Steven's game here gives me potentially a little more value for money at $55. Yeah, for $5 though, I've got $5 more though. I've got a handful of scenarios, a lot of historical detail, and if I like the series and I can deal with this sort of noise on the map, all these little suits and hearts and diamonds and things. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 titles that you could potentially explore. And you've got some obviously some other stuff going on that's on sale from the same company as well. So pretty interesting. We'll get into these hopefully early next week and kind of go for it from there. And I'm very thankful for the guys from Strategemata to have sent me these. And we'll be exploring them in detail, and we'll have some commentary and thoughts on the gameplay, because that's really what it's all about, right? It's one thing, it's a whole package, right? It's a package of gameplay, for me, narrative that comes out of it, and theme that comes out of it, and then of course, what's my tactile engagement with the game? The pieces, the maps, the charts, the rules. Are the rules clear and concise, and does it evoke the period and all that fun stuff? You know how I usually cover things. Anyway, so there you go. Strategemata Games, 14 days in June, and Crete, the great, what is it called? Great Battles of Small Units. All the best. Talk to you soon. Go roll dice.